Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Path of Exile 2. And my Boneshatter build is finally done. It took a lot of time, a lot of testing, and I just had now my last ascendancy point too, because it's really complicated on a warrior. But I'm very satisfied with the build, otherwise I would not show you guys it. It's very, very strong in clearing. I do very big AOE on the Boneshatter with the shockwave. You guys will see it right away. The single target is really decent too. So I'm using the hammer of the gods. So it's over here, and it's a very good build. So you can play it with two hands. That's really fun. Then you destroy entire maps. Or you can play it with the shield. The AOE is a little bit less because of this mace. But you're a lot tankier. It's just what you prefer, how you want to play. First, I'm going to show you guys a tier 50 map with a boss in it. I got Enfeeble in it too. So check the gameplay. If you don't like the gameplay, you don't need to look further. And then the second part is like Breach, because this is very, very good at doing Breach. You will see it. You just destroyed Breach too. So enjoy it, and then I'm coming back for you guys. I will put timestamps under this video too, that you guys can just click what you need to have, and I see you guys in a bit.
A rarity, and all mine. I can't yet. I can't yet. fortune.
I'm now going to talk about two mechanics before I continue in the video, and they are the core of this build. So therefore I want to give them each a section. That is Boneshatter. So why do I get such a big AOE that you just saw? And that is Hammer of the Gods. What is the rotation on it? So I'm going to start with Boneshatter. So first of all, Bonshatter is not a very good skill if you just use it random, but it's a very good skill if you can heavy stun enemies. So if you hover over Bonshatter, so attacks enemies with a melee strike, the strike will cause a heavy stun on enemies that are primed for stun. So causing a heavy stun, it will also create a shockwave. So you can see it here, so it's already doing a shockwave from itself, and then you put this on it, and you can do this right away from the start. So if you want to level this, you just unlock this, and you're good to go. And you will destroy packs the entire time until, yeah, you're on the build that I'm doing. And then you can just put Impact Shockwave on it. So supported skill create an aftershock when the heavy stun an enemy, dealing the same damage to enemies within 2 meters. So that is already doing the main AOE, and then in combination with Herald of Ash. So Herald of Ash is going to do overkill and is going to do an explosion on the enemies. So that's the second one, and then the third one is this one. I go to my second Maul, strike deal splash damage to targets within 1.8 meter. If you replace this with the shield, you still can do it, but the AOE will be a little bit smaller. So how does that work? So what does Prime mean? Prime is something very important. You need to understand that too. So if I go over Alt, so you will see that every enemy in the game will have an HP bar, and under that HP bar there is a bar, a stun bar. And on certain levels, for certain rarities, so you can see it here at normal level, a white enemy, at 40%. If I'm on the stun bar on 40%, I do a Boneshatter. On that moment it's heavy stunned and everything is going to proc. So that's what happened. So I just stun the enemies until 40%, do Boneshatter and so on. For a blue enemy, a magic one, is 60, for a rare 70, and for a unique 80. Therefore you saw me on the boss, around 80% stun bar, doing Boneshatter, and the boss was on the ground. That's very important that you know that. So that's what happened. So you just jump with Leap Slam on enemies, you just prime them, you use Boneshatter, and everything is destroyed. That's how it works. There is one big problem. And the big problem is what will happen if you overstun an enemy. So it's possible that you just jump on an enemy and that the stun bar is totally full. On that moment, you cannot do anymore the AOE. And that's the biggest problem in this build. So, but there are a couple of solutions that you can do. So you see that I'm jumping with Leap Slam the entire time. So first of all, what is the first solution if you got that problem? I got, by the way, a video about it too. I will post that under this video because it's very important. I call it you overprime the enemies so you cannot heavy stun them anymore. And it will happen. So there are a couple of things that you can do. First of all is just get a low level Leap Slam. Never put on your Leap Slam DPS supports, or just get the support on if you are too low, or get the support off, because sometimes it's complicated to prime the enemies too. For example, armed enemies are very complicated to prime. You need to jump sometimes 2 times. And if you got stun threshold on your maps, then you cannot stun them really well too. So that's number 1. No DPS on your Leap Slam. Keep your Leap Slam at level 7. That's the lowest level for Leap Slam. And then you can switch around with other weapon. So how do you do that? So you just put a weapon in this socket, so a second weapon, and then you just need to put here in Leap Slam, here you put it on 2. That means that you're going to do a weapon swap if you jump in a pack, and then it will work really well. It's in the video too, if you want to get more details. So that's the first one. You need to prime enemies. If you prime enemies, you can do a heavy stun. It's going to do a chain reaction on a lot of stuff that is doing a lot of AOE, and that's what happened. So now I'm going to show you guys how the Hammer of the Gods work. The next skill is the Hammer of the Gods, and that's the one that we are going to use for single target. So this is a slam. It got a very big cooldown, and it's just going to throw a hammer and does a lot of DPS. But there are some things that you can do to use it 2-3 times, and that's what you saw in the video. I had to 2 times. It was not optimal what I did there, because I was a little bit too late with my Bonshatter. I will show you guys it right away. So what do you need to do is the next. So you got the Hammer of the Gods, and you need to do a combination with a Seismic Cry. Why? So if a heavy stunned enemy is hit by this War Cry, your next slam is empowered to perform an additional aftershock. What does that mean? That means that you're just going to use 2 times the Hammer of the Gods. You got in the skill tree 2 points too that are very important. This one. So chance to aftershock for slam skills you use with maces, and chance to aftershock for slam skill you use with maces. So in the best case scenario, I can use 3 times the Hammer of the Gods, and then most of the time every boss is dead or going to take a shitload of damage. So that's what you need to do. So what I do always is like this. So I prime the enemy to 80% if it is a boss. I do a Boneshatter to get a heavy strike going. I do Seismic Strike to power up this cry, and then I do Hammer of the Gods, and it's always going to do 2 times the damage. You can use Infernal Cry too, by the way, at the same moment to empower the Hammer of Gods a little bit more. So how does that look in the gameplay that you just saw? So that's a combo that you need to learn every time that you do it, because it's very important. So prime, Seismic Cry, Infernal Cry, and then Hammer of the Gods, and then the boss is dead. You can only do it every 24 seconds, so be sure that you get the rotation right. So now I'm going to show you guys the boss fight that we just saw. So you can see here. So here you can see the boss that you just saw, and I'm already a little bit too far. So I'm going to start it. So what is going to happen, you can see this is a stun bar, and to prime this enemy, this is a boss, you need to be at 80%. So it's somewhere over here, but I was a little bit too late. I heavy stunned him without Boneshatter, because I just kept pushing my mace strike, but you can see it. I'm getting the stun bar nicely full. Here we go. And now she's on the ground heavy stunned. So you can see it here. She's not moving anymore. And now you will see my combo here at the bottom. So I'm going to pop now. Here, Infernal Cry. Here is Seismic Cry. So this is now powered. So it's only going to get powered if there is a heavy stun. And now I'm going to throw heavy Hammer of the Gods, and we are going to get the 2 times. I didn't get the chance on the tree, but you can see it. 1, 2. So you guys saw it? So 2 times it did it. It did the aftershock with the Sesame Cry. So that was it, how you need to do the rotation on the Hammer of the Gods. So now I'm going to show you guys, I think, the gems or the talent tree. I'm going to talk about the gems now. So the first one is the Mace Strike. That's one that you get if you use a mace, I think. So the gems, you don't need to use jewelers on it. It will unlock all the links with your Mace Strike by leveling. I just had the last one at level 90. So now I got a 6th link. So the first one, you will see that most of the gems here, support gems, are going to do the stun build up, because I built up the stun on bosses with this skill. So the first one is Ruthless. Every 5th support attack you will get 500% more stun build up. Then Overpower once again for more stun build up. Then Splinter, very important to destroy the armor until it breaks. And then Lacerate to inflict bleed, and then Close Combat to just do more damage. That's the 6th link. Then for Boneshatter, of course, you need to get Magnified Effect, because we scale a lot of area of effect. Otherwise, I didn't do that much AOE. So get this on it. Then, of course, the Impact Shockwave, I told you guys it. Devastate, if I do a heavy stun, so that means most of the time with Boneshatter. Then we are going to break the armor totally, and then the last one is Rage Forge, because I'm using a lot of rage. It's a very strong mechanic. So supported skill consume 10 rage if possible to deal 35 more damage. That's very important in this game, that you always see more is the best what you can get. More is better than a percentage. So therefore it's good. Then the Herald of the Ash, we got Cannibalism, very important. This is so broken, this support gem. So 4% of life recovered on kill while a supporter skill is active. So this is always active. You put it, by the way, up with right clicking. So that means, therefore you see that my HP goes from almost 0 every pack back up. That's this. Then we got Fire Mastery, and then the last one is Vitality, important too. Then Berserk. Berserk is the next one. It's going to empower my rage buffs. And not with a little bit, 57% increased rage effect. By the way, be sure that you got the quality on it too. So you can already see, because I didn't take a lot of less attack speed on my tree, because I won't have speed in the build. This is not a slow build, you guys saw it. So be aware that you get the quality up on Boneshatter. It's going to give 20% more attack speed, very important. So I'm going to do this, okay. So that's Herald of the Berserk, yeah. So be sure that you do it. You can take this one, it depends how much spirit you got. Or you can take the last one that I will show you guys. Then Infernal Cry to empower the next damage. So Enraged War Cry I got here. I got Premeditation here. And then I got Raging Cry here too. So just take it, and it will work really well. Then Hammer of the Gods, very important. So it got a lot of physical damage once. So first of all, Brutality, everything is physical. Then Heavy Swing we got here. Heft is very good. Once again, more. More is always better. More maximum physical damage. Then we got Fist of War, and then we got Concentrated Effect. This can be a little bit, a problem, because then the Hammer of the Gods circle is very small. You need to practice. Then Leap Slam is very important too. Leap Slam is not only to prime most of the time the enemies, but I stacked 2 defensive support gems on it too. Be sure that you do it, because otherwise it's possible that you die. I forgot another thingy. So if you Leap Slam, always do this. So try to roll at the end. So jump, hit the enemy, roll. Don't wait for the animation to stop. It will save your life a lot of times. So you can see here the first one is Holy Descent. What is Holy Descent? So support skill, create a concentrated ground. What does it do? Very simple. It's going to give a regeneration of 5% of my maximum life per second. That's not all. And curses have 50% reduced effect of them. be sure that you got that. It's going to heal you up if you are on a tough pack and you cannot get away, because this is going to happen. Then the next one is momentum. That's just to get more DPS in. It's not really needed, but I needed to get a little bit more DPS because my prime was too low. Therefore, I put it in. But it depends where you are, what kind of weapon you got. And then the last one is very important too. Put Maim on it. Maim is such a good survivor skill. It was in Path of Exile 1 already the case. What is Maim going to do? So I jump on a pack of enemies and it's going to maim every enemy. So the maimed enemies suffer 30% slower movement. So they move 30% less fast. And then speed and movement speed and 15% reduced evasion rating. So they cannot evade that well. Be sure that you got that. Then the next one, Seismic Cry. Very simple. I got Corrupting Cry on this one. And those two are very important too. So you got here Scavenge Planting. So this is going to give you more armor. And I got here Persistence on it. So more skill effect. And then this one at the start is very important too. So it depends how much spirit you got, but if you don't have the gear that I got, put Berserk off and put this on, because this is going to be more important. So it's a very simple buff this, but it's a very good one. So it's got a long time that it's on cooldown, therefore I use this. Support the skill, have 30% less skill effect duration. But what is this doing? So 10.3 seconds duration between blessing. Blessing recover 500 life and remove curses and elemental ailments. That's ignite, shock and all that shit. So it's very good. So that are the setups that you need to use, guys. So now I'm going to show you guys the talent tree. I'm going to show you guys now the talent tree. So first of all, ascendancy wise, do this. So if you got the first 4 ones, you take this, because this is very good. So 50% increased effect on small passive skills, hulking form. It's not going to do it for these small ones, but for all the other small ones. So that's really good. So passive 1, 2, 3, 4, this one. Then you take this one, take the life. Life is very important, very strong in this game, because we cannot stack it that easy. And then for the last one, you take this one. So 20% chance for slam skills. You use yourself to cause an aftershock once again for the Hammer of Gods to get 1 extra. So you start here, and you guys already can see that it's not a slow build. I didn't want to play a slow build, because it was not good. If it is slow, you die. So you just start here, you go to those nodes. So this is the first one, very important. Increased, I will do it like this, that you guys can see it. So this one, increased armor from equipped body armor, 80%. Be sure that you take that, because your body armor most of the time is the biggest source of armor, because you need to have defensive mechanics in your build too, otherwise you die the entire time. Then this one is important too, brutal, just for strength, because strength is very important, because we are going to use Giant's Blood, but that's something for later. Then you come to this wheel. This is attack speed. So you can see it here. This is just for increased area of effect, to get very big explosion. Then you come to here, and I took this one, just to get a little bit more power on my war cries. Then you take this one too. So 30% increased area of effect if you stunned an enemy with a two-handed melee weapon recently. We are going to stun the entire time. Very important too. I didn't take this one. Why? Because I don't take reduced attack speed. Like I said, I want to keep the build fast, because I don't like the speed that it went at the start. It was unplayable. Then you just go to this wheel, and this wheel is a very good source to get a lot of strength. You need to have a lot of strength. Then you go to here. This is the rage. And why I took this one? It's only 3% chance that you get full rage, but it works a lot of times. So I took this one. So you can 30. I got at the moment. Why is rage so big? You guys can see it here. So if you over rage. So rage is going to give, for every rage buff you got, is going to give 1% more attack damage, more once again. So I got 30, that means if I do 10,000 damage and my rage is at 30, I do 13,000 damage. So rage is very good, and I buff it with Berserk again. So this is one of the source that I use to get really quick to 30 rage buffs. Then I went here just to get the socket. So what is important for the jewels? Get attack damage on it, increased damage with maces. You can get some strength on it too. So you can see it here. Here I got strength. And this is important too. So increase damage with hits against rare and unique enemies. That are the 4 things that I mostly take. And then this is a timeless lost diamond. It's 2 divines. It's very expensive, but it's going to buff your life with a lot. So what it's going to do, in this large area, all the small passives are going to give +1 increased maximum life. So you can see I got 4,840. If I take this away, that's almost 300-400 life this is giving. And normally you can get a second modifier on it. I don't yet got it, but that the notables are going to give 3 to 4% in strength. So this is a notable, the big ones. But that's very expensive. I got now freeze, but that's not really needed. I took it to get a little bit more life. So that are the jewels. So here I got the jewels. Then you come to here, and this I took just to get more life. And the stun threshold is important too. Stun threshold is in the build, otherwise you get stun locked out and you're dead. So very important that you take these two. Then the next one, and this is probably the most important one that a lot of people are going to be very happy with if they take it. So the problem is, if you start this game, you don't got accuracy, so you will miss a lot. So I would suggest that you come right away to this node, Resolute Techniques, because what does this mean? That you're never going to miss again. Your hits can be evaded. You're always going to hit, and you will see right away that the game is a lot easier. Take this. You will hit everything, and you do the damage that you need to do. Then we come to this node. This is for the stun build-up, to get the stun going, and I took this one. So if I do heavy stun, I break 50% of the armor on heavy stunning an enemy. So, and then on my amulet, I took this one. So this is the one, impact area, to get a little bit more area of effect, because I didn't have points anymore. Therefore, I took it. It's a little bit silly because it's only 5 points, but yeah, my points are done and I need to have all my points. So this is important, Resolute Techniques. Very important, don't forget to take it. Then we come to here, and here I took this one, and those two are very important too, and this one. So you can know this, and this one is important. So what is so important about it, I already told you guys it. This is going to give you a chance to get an aftershock on slam, 10% and 12. Be sure that you take it because it's an extra attack. Very important, and this one is good too. 20% more, once again, damage against heavy stunned enemies. So very good. Then you come here to this one, stun build up, and this is important for the strength and the threshold. But I'm going to talk a little bit later about strength. Then we come to this area. So this is an area that is very important too. Like I said to you guys, I like to have attack speed in the build, and this is a very good node. So you can see increased attack speed if you've been hit recently. Normally as a melee you get hit every time. 12%, 7%, that's already 90%. This is 26% more attack speed, and therefore the build goes so fast. So the moment that I get hit with this, and I still want to get attack speed on my gloves too. So it plays almost the same like Path of Exile 1. Because attack speed is making my leap slam quicker, by the way, too. So it's very important that that you know that. So otherwise it goes way too slow, and yeah, therefore I take it. Then you take this. So once again rage, but not only rage build up. You will get 1% increased armor for every rage too. Then you take this node, really important, get a little bit more max it works really well in this game. I was really amazed, because I'm really amazed with the stats. If I had those stats in Path of Exile 1, I died a lot more. But these are the stats, and you guys saw it, I survived really easy. So take this one. Then you come to here, and this is very important too. At some point, if you level up your gems to a certain level, you will see that they are starting to consume a lot of mana. So if you look here to the Seismic 87, if you look to this one, 185 mana, but I only got 140, I think. So I just use all my mana almost. So you need to use this blood magic. So remove all mana and you use life instead of mana. If you are in trouble and you cannot use every time your skill, get blood magic. Very important. After resolute techniques, probably the second or third most important note that you need to take. Then we come here, I took the attack damage. Why attack damage? Because yeah, it scales with rage. So the rage built up, and this is going to make the rage buffs even stronger. And then you take this one. Very good note too. Almost, yeah, 100 increased melee damage. So that's it. And now I'm going to talk about something that is very important. So this is going to make the build a lot stronger, but it's very hard to get. So Giant's Blood. You can wield two-handed axes, maces, and sword. Therefore, I can use two-handers or a two-hander and a shield. But it will triple the attribute requirements for the weapons. So what does that mean? So you guys can see that on my Maul, I need to have 212 strength. You need to multiply that with 3. So I need to have 636 strength, and that's a lot. That's really a lot. And therefore I take strength on every item, because it's very good. If you want to get a good build, I'm not even sure that you can play without Giant's Blood on a warrior. There are some things that you can do. So there are some tricks that you can do. So first of all, you can get attribute requirements down on the mace. That means that the 212 will be 170 strength required. That's something that you can do. Another thing, at the start you don't have 600 strength. I know that. There is something called the Vortex or Vertex. That's a head. And it will lower 50% attributes. So that means I used that a long time. It's 1 divine. That's true. But I sold it after I got enough strength. And that means that this Maul will be 50% less strength requirement. So that means 106. Multiply 3 is 300. So use the Vertex until you got gear with all strength on. That's very important. Another thing that I saw was, if you cannot make the attributes, go a little bit further in the tree. I did that too, and come to this cluster. So you can see here 10% increased attributes. Here you can see it. So if you don't make the attributes and you think, fuck, I need to have 40, 50 more, just come here. Respecking in this game is not that expensive. Just come to, where is it? This cluster, and you will get the strength, all the strength. And that's not all. You can lower the attributes requirement here too. So this is 6, 12, 18, or what is this? Yeah. So 18% less of 212. You guys can do the math yourself. 150. Just do it. Don't hesitate. And therefore, you need to have so much strength. Therefore, I got here strength, everywhere strength. That's another thing that I want to say to you guys. Take equipment with only armor. Why I'm saying that? Because if you take equipment with evasion, you need dexterity. And you need to have every small node need to be strength. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to get 600 and a little bit strength. So then the next two nodes, and they are all, that's of course Giant's Blood, and then you got this one. So this is going to give extra strength, but that's not all. It's going to give 1% increased damage per 15 strength. I got 16 strength, so that's 30 increased damage. So that was it for the 3 guys. So very important, go to Resolute Techniques. This is important, Blood Magic, and later on Giant's Blood. That are the 3 keys. This is important too, by the way. Those 2 nodes are very important. And the other stuff is just something, yeah, that you can play a little bit with. It's not that important. Ah, this one is important too, by the way. I forgot to say it to you guys. So that was it. Now I'm going to talk about the gear. Okay, guys, the gear. So we are going to start first with the mace. That's always the same. So a lot of physical damage, simply said. So add physical damage, increase physical damage, and attack speed. And try to put a leech on it too, or an attribute requirement that goes down, or strength. So the higher the physical damage, the better. So the more DPS you do, the better. For the runes, I got here increased physical damage on them, but it depends what you want to have. If you still need to have life leech, because you need to have a little bit of life leech, you can put it here too. So then the second one, and that's important. So you need to get this base, because the expert cultist Great Hammer got strikes deal splash damage to target within 1.8 meter. This is going to give a lot of AOE damage, explosion. The problem is they don't scale that high, because not a lot of people use them in the end game, but try to get one. If you play two-handers, take this one, you will see the difference right away. So I got here life on kill, but don't look at the runes. So 2 maces. If you want to go with a shield, you can do that too. It works very good. The AOE is a little bit smaller. Get block chance on it, very important. Then life, then additional physical damage reduction, and a couple of resistance. So if I put this on, I almost never die, by the way. But I like to go fast. I want to kill really quick packs. Okay, you occasionally die sometimes, but if you put a shield like this, it's not going to happen anymore, because block chance is very big. So if I put this on, I got right away 43 block chance. So you can choose what you want. Then for the helmet, once again, it's always the same. So for the leveling, it's just the same too. So you just need to get life, resistance, armor. So you can see it here. And strength, of course. This is my helmet that I got. I cannot say a lot about it because it's just the same. But you need to get everywhere strength. Then this is my chest. Once again, strength, spirit, resistance, and a lot of armor. For the runes, it depends what you need. If you need to cap somewhere your resistance, because you need to have 75, by the way. I still need to get my house up, put fire, lightning, cold. Be sure before you go to mapping, get it to 75%. Otherwise, you will die a lot. So this is my chest. Once again, just the same. And then for the necklace, I went for life. Here you can get 2 attributes and strength. So this is my my necklace. For the rings, once again, just the same. The strength, life, and resistance. And here I got a leech to 8.85% of physical damage. So be sure that you put that somewhere that you got a little bit of leech. I buffed it with something that is called this. So I will show you guys that. So you can, with the catalyst, you can buff to 20% quality. You see the quality over here. So this one. And this is a life one. So I buffed the life leech from 7.38 to 8.85. So you will find them in breaches, but you can buy them here with alpha on the exchange too. So buy them. They are very cheap. You get 20 for 1 exalted. So here I buffed my life modifier. And then on the next one, just the same strength, life, and resistance once again. So now for the gloves. Just the same again, life, strength, resistance. But here I want to get attack power and I want to get rid of the dexterity on this one. If I can get an armor base, it's only going to require strength, and I can replace this dexterity by something else. I don't need dexterity then anymore in the build. Then for the boots, very important. Get increased movement speed 30 maximum. I paid for those boots 20 exalted only. Once again, strength, a little bit of life and resistance, but movement speed is crucial. Be sure that you get that. because don't go around like a snail, because you will die so many times. Like I said, this is a build, speed build. Everything need to go fast. Everything need to go die quick. If I started this game, the end game, I thought by myself I'm going to stop playing if this goes not faster on the warrior. But you need to get this increased movement speed and other stats. And then for the build, it does not matter. This is a very expensive one. I found this one. So the charm slots on a belt are very important. Besides that, you just need to get life and resistance on it. But charms are going to make your belt a lot stronger too. Because what are charms? So if I start bleeding, I get immunity to bleeding. If I get poisoned, this is going to remove my poison. If I get chaos damage in, I'm going to get 18% more chaos resistance. But this got 3 slots, it's very expensive. If you go with 2 slots, that's around 20-25 exalted. So you don't need to have 3 of them. I found this one very lucky. I think this is a couple of divines, by the way. The more charm slots you can have, the better. And then for the life flask, I like to go with a little bit recovery applied instantly. Because sometimes you don't have the time, and then you got the mana flask, it does not matter. So that was it, guys. That was it for the build. It was a long video. If I got the time, I will put like build under this too. I know there are a couple of websites that do it. Just to show you guys it. But that was it for the build, guys. Have fun. It's a very cool build. I'm very happy that it works so good. I'm going to farm a little bit more in this league, because there are some things that I still want to get, but they are very expensive, like my armor. I want to get it to 1500. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Have fun. Bye bye.